Hey guys, it's Battalion Clash Gaming. I'm here to showcase to you guys our recent war against a CPU clan. They're a pretty good clan. I think they were the champion. It was really hard for us because most of their bases are max heroes and max Tunnel 9 bases, and we did a good job. But the one thing that we have an advantage on is actually having one Tunnel 9. One Tunnel 11, and that's our basically and they all have like a low percent, so we won this by percent. If this was a town hall 10, maybe it would have been a lot harder. And they also have like I think they have an extra town hall 10. No, actually it's pretty even. The only thing that they have advantage on us is that all their town hall 9s and all their heroes are pretty much a lot higher than us, so by war weight we pretty much have one town hall like advantage. But everything else is basically they have the advantage as far as like the troops goes, and the heroes goes, and having the much heavier defense weight town hall 9. So first I'm going to showcase to you guys by attack by cream. This was a really good attack with the recent update, and I was told that there's a different mechanics for the witch, that the witch would actually pop when they die, and they actually kind of like a lava. When they die they would actually pop some skeletons. I didn't know that. It's kind of like a one of those sneaky update that they don't really tell anybody. But they basically kind of like a lava lunion. A lava hound, and when the lava pops and you get the pup, yeah, you get the pup. And same thing for the witch. When she dies, the skeleton would actually pop. And we're looking for that feature that was added. This was a really good strategy for this base. So you can see, regardless of the wall level, this base is considered as max because everything else is considered, except for the archer tower, I guess. Perfect timing for the warden ability. And one of my accounts is down 11. That's one thing I haven't pushed yet, is my warden. I was hoping that one of the witch would die and would actually show up. There it is, the one in the middle. The when the witch died. Um, yep. The one thing that sucks is like, well, when they die in front of the wizard, all the skeleton dies with her. Fast this forward and pretty much show the base being 3-starred. This was a really struggle for us because some of their bases are like the new meta bases, like for anti 3-star base, and most of our town 11s are successful with the dips, and most of us, even me, like struggled even on their lowest base, like this one right here, one attack. So let me show you guys this attack right here. Some of our maybe just document the base, what we did. So I'm just gonna go over this, fast it forward. Same thing, doing a witch. It's like the best attack for like a tunnel 10 is actually a witch and a Laloon, and mostly I see a successful attack with a witch bowler attack. It's pretty much dominant, especially now that the witch have more buff than what they were before. So there's one thing I hate about being using this attack. Is kind of like a spray and pray, kind of like when I play paintball. Basically you just spray and pray and hopefully the guy will walk in to the lanes. It's pretty much the same as this one because once you drop the spells and all the troops, it's pretty much you just hope and pray that all the troops will go in the right direction. Kind of like this stupid golem knocking on the wall. Is like, I don't even know where the golem wanted to go. I think he's trying to target the expo all the way inside. There's been a lot of glitch with this update, and I'm noticing there's like a lot of troops that are like going all over the place, especially the king and the queen. They're already retarded and stupid. This one right here, see, the queen could actually target this if she goes in this corner right here. You see the archers also is like, There's one thing I hate about the Queen is like her range is very short. I wish Supercell would update the to have the Queen have like an air targeting or like ground targeting, then she would have a different range. That kind of like goes an advantage though if the enemy had the Hound Loon CC, because if the Queen is only targeting the ground, she won't be distracted. Maybe that'll be a bad addition, but that would be like good for the guys that are doing you know La Loon attack. Maybe it could have worked this attack right here if the troops actually goes in this moat and the bowler could have walked in there and actually do the bounce. Maybe because this are actually like single targeting, but we never really know. Then this is my attack. Really massive fail on this one. Just trying to do the Valkyrie like golem attack. I used this attack like a while back, and pretty much I can 3-star most of the bases on this one. But I think a mistake on this was I wasn't patient enough for the funneling, and that part right there is like where I did the jump. I could have just raged them and then used the jump like on this area right here, because they're still far away from the, and I could just like put a heal in there. They're far away from the Inferno. Maybe if I would have heal on that side, put a jump in this apartment and then put a jump in here, or maybe that would have made a difference. I could have used an extra spell. I could have used like a freeze and a freeze, maybe. And this one right here, the jump was actually supposed to lap this wall, but instead I put it on this one right here. So that was kind of like my mistake. 68% is not even like close. You usually want like an 85%, 90%, so you know that it was the right troops. It was just dropped the wrong way. This one is another dip attack using the same troops. One of the technique is like using this attack is like you have to figure out the wall that's going to the next base. So setting up a good like jump, so you know that they're gonna be going there and they're gonna go to the next compartment. That's why it's so hard to defend against the witch bowler attack, because once they keep on going and because of the extra spell that they have, and then the warden ability, it's pretty much overpowering to Tunnel 10s. I've seen a lot of dip fails using the hound, and I don't really see much of the witch bowler fail. But the most dominant attack, I mean, right now for what I was seeing over the YouTube are actually the air attack. Especially the loons now are like switching a lot faster and then dropping a lot of. I mean, the drop of the damage is a lot faster, even though they're weaker. Most of the time, you would think that it would be easier to actually do this with a Town Hall 10, but it isn't. The one thing the Town Hall 10 is missing is the Grand Warden. And me personally, I wouldn't want that added to the Town Hall 10. You want the Town Hall 10 to be a lot harder, and you always wanted like a base to be like more challenging than be 3-starring bases. Before the update, like I think it was December, or yeah, the bases were a lot harder to actually 3-star than what it is now. Even though it's still hard to 3-star Tunnel 10, but back then it was still it was more harder because even Tunnel 11s are failing on Tunnel 10s. Now it's like a little bit lighter, and it's a lot better to 3-star Tunnel 11 to Tunnel 10. And Tunnel 10 is still hard. Maybe not as hard as what it used to be, because back then you have to use like a Valkyrie to get a high percentage on a Tunnel 10, and it's really hard to 3-star Tunnel 10. See this one right here, barely a 3-star base. The base was set up really good to you can have like not many troops. There was a troll Tesla in a 6 o'clock, but it's not really a big deal. This is another fail for me. I don't know what's wrong with me when when I attack. It's like I lose my patience sometimes, and I just start dropping the troops because I personally think they're like all the troops are like going so slow. It's not as fast, maybe in my mind, because I'm supposed to like cut off the side right here, and I'm supposed to hold like before and keep all these buildings so the golem and the bowlers would actually anchor on this side, and I want them to go in this moat right here on this compartment, because this inferno right here are actually closer to one tile, and then the bowlers can actually reach this, and they didn't really have to. As long as I had the one jump right there, it shouldn't be a problem. But the problem was all my troops that went around, so it was basically useless. Would have been a lot different if this base was you know, if the plan went right. And the number 9. I think most of us start in the end because we knew that we're gonna win by destruction. So as I failed on this base too. It's like I did have a higher percentage in this one, but I had a 1 star, so it didn't really count. I kind of got mad because I already cut off this side right here when I was doing the queen walk, and then the queen started going this way, and then because I didn't take out this mortar right here, so she started going back, and it started going to the wrong side. I wanted her to keep going this way. I didn't know that why she as soon as she took out this storage right here. I mean, you would think that this is a lot like, travel when the queen is standing here, but no, she actually targeted this mortar right here. She's pretty stupid, like the king, but she's more stupider than the king. This one is a really close one. It's like a 98%. So anything that's like 85% and above is basically you just make an adjustment. Either the troops timing, the drop of the spell, it could be that. Although I did a lot of practice in FCs, like I did like a 70% or 75%, and I'm 3 star in the base, but I barely 3 star it. But if you have 85%, and that basically is a solid attack. I forgot what went wrong on this. I watched this live and I thought it was gonna be a 3 star. Then I realized like he's not gonna have enough time. But this one right here, the pathing was like really good. I think the problem with this is like because of the loons now. See, they have to drop twice. I mean, they're not really like one shot and they move on. That's a level 3 expo, and it takes them like many shots to actually taking him down. See, the wizard tower is not really like going down like right away. If we were to drop, like I think if we would have dropped like the minions, like when he was doing this, as soon as he started over there, I think it would have been a lot different because it's kind of like attacking with hogs. As soon as you drop the loons, you drop the cleanup troop like in the back of them, like right away, and it would have made a little difference with time because in the end, this one right here, the minions and the pups start chasing this king, and the king is like in a full health. That would have made a lot of difference. And that was it, because those two things is wrong. It's because the timing of the drop in of the cleanup troop, and I think because of the mechanics of the loons, they're actually not they're not as potent as what they used to be. And this one right here is like you would think that they would use the jump right here and then go right here, and because of this moat, right here, and then you have to decide to go this way and then go this way. That's why to me it's like not viable to use this attack on a town hall 10, 10 v10. At town hall 11 it's good. If you didn't have like a Grand Warden ability or uh, extra spell, you wouldn't 3-star this base with the same troop composition. There are some bases that actually open and goes all the way to the bottom. I know back then I see a base like this, I know I can 3-star it, but now it's like for some reason I couldn't like pull this off. Anything that bases that are not even like maxed out for some reason are holding. I guess the defense have a lot more damage. Sometimes the numbers are not correct because I notice what Supercell is doing is like they're silently buffing when they do like maintenance break and something like they make an adjustment. They don't even tell you what it is. They say like bug fixes. But one thing I noticed, like every time there's a maintenance update, like some of the defenses are getting stronger and some of the troops are getting nerfed or getting buffed, the other or vice versa. The bugs that I wanted them to fix is actually the queen and the king. It's like sometimes they're stupid. You put a jump right beside them and they still hit the wall because they're targeting a defense that's supposedly closer to them, even though that defense is on the other side of the wall and there's a jump the where you want the king and the queen to go. The AI is not like what it used to be. The AI used to be is like when you put the jump, that's where the troop is gonna go. They're gonna change their AI. It's basically forcing them to go to the jump. Now they didn't like do that. I think because I don't know. Maybe it's too overpowering. Like this one I heard, like the bullet. See, there's a jump there. They could have actually changed their mechanics and go this way and start attacking this side right here, and could have helped out the queen. But instead, they start targeting the wall, and they target this wall, and they can have to target this wall. So that's one of the retarded things I hate about this game. Is like if they could actually like fix the mechanics of the troops or the way they move, it would have been a lot better. And that's it for us for now. And it's like the I hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one for all town line attacks. And some of us actually a lot of fails in this, so I'm gonna show you guys mostly on town lines instead of like the dip downs. See you guys next time.